much do you really know about Brock Purdy?
In terms of a TV show, I love Outer Banks. I will admit I binge watched that in like 2 days.
Purdy really has an interesting lifestyle off the field. Let us present 10 interesting facts you probably didn't know about Brock Purdy. Athletic genes, it's all in the family. It always helps to have good athletic genes, and Purdy's family is not short on it. No wonder he's grown into such a big-time star on the West Coast. Brock's father, Sean Purdy, had a stellar 8-year career in the minor leagues as a relief pitcher. His minor league career began with the Boise Hawks of the short season, a Northwestern league, in 1991. The Hawks were an affiliate of the California Angels of Major League Baseball. Sean later joined another Angels affiliate, the Palm Springs Angels of the Advanced A California League. He had arguably his best season that year, winning 13 games while striking out 113 batters in 168 innings pitched. He later played with the Richmond Braves. That team was the AAA International League affiliate of the Atlanta Braves. Brock's older sister, Whitney, the oldest of the 3 Purdy children, is no slouch of an athlete herself. Whitney was a star softball player at Southeastern University, the other QB named Purdy. Speaking of the whole family genetics thing, Brock's brother, Chubba Purdy, is also a quarterback with NFL aspirations. Chubba, 2 years younger than Brock, spent his first 2 seasons on the Florida State roster before transferring to Nebraska in 2022. Chubba saw limited time over his 2 seasons with the Seminoles, completing 32 pass attempts for 4 touchdowns and 1 interception. He saw 5 game appearances under Matt Rule's Cornhuskers in the 2023 campaign, completing 31 pass attempts for 382 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions, to go along with 180 rushing yards and 1 rushing score. As a backup, Chubba still faces a long road in making it to the NFL. But hey, before December 2022, nobody saw Brock becoming the superstar signal caller that we now all know and love. The booming family business. Alright, so we talked a little bit about Sean Purdy's baseball career. But you know, when that ended, he and his wife Carrie began a thriving hot tub business that remains a success more than a quarter century later. Sean and Carrie's hot tub business, Fantastic Spa Outlet, is based in Mesa, Arizona. A bit ironic, we know, considering that Arizona is one of the nation's hottest regions.
How many days a year do you need a hot tub? Mason? I guess business is good.
But Brock and the 49ers always take priority over the business. Anytime the 49ers play, the Purdys close Fantastic Spa Outlet for the day. Brock and Breeze. Purdy is far from the only notable quarterback who defied the odds and silenced all the critics about his game. So I suppose it's rather fitting that Purdy decided to model his game after another so-called shorter quarterback in Drew Brees. The New Orleans Saints legend is listed roughly at 6 feet and 209 pounds, having gotten the last laugh on all the scouts who said he was way too small to shine in the NFL. During an April 2023 appearance on Jason and Travis Kelce's New Heights podcast, Purdy was asked by Jason which QB he tried to model his game after.
Drew Brees, just obviously our stature and him being quick with his footwork and his release and his decisive, decision making, and I loved all of that.
Brees retired as the all-time leader in completion percentage at 67.7%. He's second all-time on the passing yards and passing touchdowns list behind none other than Tom Brady. Draft day prank. Purdy and his family anxiously watched the 2022 NFL Draft together, hoping to see his dream come true. Purdy got several phone calls during the watch party, informing his family that they were only free agent calls.
I've been taking a bunch of calls. And every time I'd go in the room, I'd come out and they'd be waiting and I'd be like, no, it's just a free agent call. Same thing over and over.
Purdy then got a call from 49ers GM John Lynch, who confirmed to the Iowa State signal caller that they were drafting him.
I'm sorry it took till the end. We find you very relevant, but you are going to be Mr. Irrelevant.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. So we're thrilled to have you part of us, okay?
Little did they know that he would be far more than the final pick in 2022. Purdy lied to his family by saying it was a free agent call.
He shook it. He goes, nope.
It's another free agency call, and they're like, no way, you're lying.
We're like, gosh, do we believe him? Nobody knew if we did.
Then they continued to watch on TV and finally heard Purdy's name, sending the patient family into a frenzy.
The lady didn't even say my name on the TV yet, but my name came across before, and they all screamed and jumped up like I was a first-round pick.
The San Francisco 49ers select...
And, well, the rest, as they say, is history. A GOAT-like start. For die-hard 49ers fans, December 11th, 2022 should live on as one of those "where were you when" moments. That was the day that Purdy made his first NFL start following Jimmy Garoppolo's season-ending ankle injury. And who was Purdy's first start against? Well, none other than the GOAT Tom Brady and his Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Purdy looked nothing like a rookie. Purdy had his 49ers up 28-0 at halftime with 2 touchdown passes and a rushing TD of his own. And Tampa would get 1 garbage time TD before the game mercilessly ended with a 28-point 49ers victory. With the 35-7 victory, Purdy became the first and only quarterback to beat the GOAT himself in his first career NFL start. I think that's a pretty auspicious beginning to a career. The only relevant Mr. Irrelevant. Dating back to the first NFL draft back in 1936, only 6 quarterbacks have been the final draft selection of a class. Then, in 2022, Purdy became the 7th Mr. Irrelevant quarterback when the 49ers took him in round 7 at number 262 overall. In San Fran's Week 13 2022 home game against the Miami Dolphins, Purdy made history with his first quarter TD pass to fullback Kyle Juszczyk. That TD made Purdy the first Mr. Irrelevant signal caller to throw an NFL touchdown pass. Swimming with Dolphin Nation. Purdy was born just before the turn of the century on December 27, 1999. He was born in Arizona and also grew up in the Copper State. But no, sir, Purdy was no fan of the Cardinals or any other team in the bordering states. Rather, Purdy grew up as a fan of the Miami Dolphins. Not only that, but Purdy considers Dan Marino his idol, and that is why Purdy wears the number 13.
When did the Dan Marino fanship start?
Yeah, as I started playing football, my dad, he grew up watching Dan Marino and stuff. So when he was teaching me to throw a football, he's like, Dan Marino had a quick release. You got to throw it like this and this. And then I was like, all right, what number was Dan Marino? And he's like 13. And I was like, all right, I'm going to be 13. So that was when it sort of started.
And then in a truly wholesome and heartwarming moment, Purdy finally got to meet Marino in a video chat during the former's interview with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
It's an honor, man. My dad, he loved you growing up. I wear 13 and everything because of you, man. So I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate that. Tell your dad he's a smart guy.
Marino pieced together a Hall of Fame career with only a Super Bowl ring missing. Let's just say that Purdy is in an excellent position to capture the one thing that eluded his idol. Brock's Irrelevant Week Bash. The late Paul Salata, an NFL and CFL star in the early 1950s, came up with the clever idea of the Mr. Irrelevant Award in 1976. As a way to honor the final draft pick of each class, the NFL helps run an Irrelevant Week that gives Mr. Irrelevant an adventure-filled week to celebrate their status. So how did they bask in Brock's special little title? Well, it included paddling, attending a Los Angeles Angels Kansas City Royals MLB game, a surfing lesson, and a sailing adventure. Now that he's the 49ers starting QB, well, I think Purdy can afford all the luxurious week-long trips that he wants. If not a 49er, if the 49ers didn't draft Purdy, well, history would be a lot different for Kyle Shanahan and company right now. And actually, it probably would have looked quite different for one of San Fran's NFC rivals. As noted in an article by Nick Wagner and Kevin Seifert of ESPN, Purdy was considering the 49ers, Houston Texans, and Minnesota Vikings as options if he went undrafted. The report noted that Minnesota heavily pursued Purdy in the waning hours of the draft in an attempt to sign him to a rookie deal. That plan was foiled by the 49ers when they took Purdy. And with the Vikings losing starter Kirk Cousins with a torn Achilles in the midst of the 2023 season, who knows? Maybe Purdy would have been the next man up instead of Jaron Hall or Josh Dobbs or Nick Mullins. And if Purdy didn't go to San Fran, what would it have meant for Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo? There's a lot of what-ifs here, but the 49ers don't have to worry about it thanks to the genius of Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. Good work out there. But what are some other interesting facts about Brock Purdy? Was there anything cool that we may have missed? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and I really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because hey, we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.